Welcome to Factory Underground Live in Norwalk, Connecticut. My name is Dan Monaghan. I wanted to do something for Bob Dylan's 80th birthday, May 24th, 2021. What I came up with is I wanted to do his 1975 release, Blood on the Tracks, probably a favorite of many, and one of mine as well. This one's called Tangled Up in Blue. Early one morning the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she had changed at all, if her hair was still red. Her folks had said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress, Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. And I was standing on the side of the road, rain falling on my shoes, heading out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but he used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. Split up on the docks at night, both agreeing it was best. As she turned around to look at me as I was walking away, I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. I had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, and a lucky one to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat right outside of Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept looking at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned down, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there in the back of my chair, said, "Tell me, don't I know your name?" Well, I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines on my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. I thought you'd never say hello, she said, you look like the silent type. Then she opened up a book of poems, handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true and glowed like burning coal, pouring off of every page like it was written in my soul from me to you. Tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Monaghan Street, the basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. And one day finally the bottom fell out and I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on like a bird that flew. Tangled up in blue. So now I'm going back again, I got to get to her somehow. All the people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, Some are carpenters' wives. I don't know how it all got started. I don't know what they're doing with their lives. But me, I'm still on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. That's probably the most well-known song on the record. This next song is probably not quite as well-known. It's called Simple Twist of Fate. And I almost put the wrong harp up. Okay. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. 'Twas then he felt alone, wished that he'd gone straight and watched out for a simple twist of fate. They walked along by the old canal, a little confused, I remember well, and stopped into a strange hotel where the neon was burning bright. He felt the heat of the night hit him like a freight train moving with a simple twist of fate. A saxophone someplace far off played while she was walking on by the arcade, as a light burst through a beat-up shade where he was waking up. She dropped a coin into the cup of a blind man at the gate and forgot about his simple twist of fate. He woke up, the room was bare. He didn't see her anywhere. He told himself he didn't care and pushed the window open wide. Felt that emptiness inside, to which he just could not relate, brought on by a simple twist of fate. He hears the ticking of the clocks, walks along with a parrot that talks, hunts it down by the waterfront docks where the sailors all come in. Maybe she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more time for a simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know and feel too much within. I still believe she was my twin, but I lost the ring. She was born in spring, but I was born too late. Blame it on a simple twist of fate. This next song is called You're a Big Girl Now. Our conversation was short and sweet. It nearly swept me off of my feet, and I'm back in the rain. Oh, and you were on dry land. You made it there somehow. You're a big girl now. Bird on the horizon, sitting on a fence. He's singing a song for me at his own expense. And I'm just like that bird, oh, singing just for you. You can hear me singing through these tears. Time is a jet plane, it moves too fast. Oh, but what a shame if all we've shared can't last. I can't change, I swear. See what you can do. Well, I can't make it through. You can make it too. Love is so simple, to quote a phrase. You've known it all the time, I'm learning it these days. Oh, I know where I can find you. Oh, in somebody's room. It's a price I'll have to pay. You're a big girl all the way. Change in the weather, known to be extreme. What's the sense of changing? Horses in midstream. I'm going out of my mind. Oh, with a pain that stops and starts, like a corkscrew to my heart. ever since we've been apart. This G harmonica here, this actually used to belong to Bob Dylan. I'd like to thank my brother Mike for successfully negotiating the change of ownership. It was back in the 90s. I was going to use it today, but it suffered a catastrophic reed failure, so it's just there for inspiration for now. This next song, I think, embodies bitterness unlike any other. It's called Idiot Wind. Someone's got it in for me. They're planting stories in the press. Whoever it is, I wish they cut it out quick. But when they will, I can only guess. They say I shot a man named Gray, took his wife to Italy. She inherited $1 million, and when she died, it came to me. I can't help it if I'm lucky. People see me all the time, and they just can't remember how to act. Their minds are filled with big ideas, images, and distorted facts. Even you, yesterday, you had to ask me where it was at. I couldn't believe after all these years you didn't know me any better than that. Sweet lady, idiot wind, blowing every time you move your mouth, blowing down the back roads heading south. Idiot wind, blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. That's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I ran into the fortune teller who said, beware a lightning that might strike. I haven't known peace and quiet for so long I can't remember what it's like. There's a lone soldier on the cross, smoke pouring out of a boxcar door. You didn't know it, you didn't think it could be done. In the final end, he won the war after losing every battle. I woke up on the roadside, daydreaming about the way things sometimes are. Visions of your chestnut mare shoot through my head and are making me see stars. You hurt the ones that I love best and cover up the truth with lies. One day you'll be in the ditch, flies buzzing around your eyes, blood on your saddle. Idiot wind, blowing through the flowers on your tomb, blowing through the curtains in your room. Idiot wind, blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an It's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. It was gravity which pulled us down, and destiny which broke us apart. You tamed the lion in my cage, but it just wasn't enough to change my heart. Now everything's a little upside down. As a matter of fact, the wheels have stopped. What's good is bad, what's bad is good. You'll find out when you reach the top. You're on the bottom. I noticed at the ceremony your corrupt ways had finally made you blind. I can't see your face anymore. Your mouth has changed, your eyes don't look into mine. The priest wore black on the seventh day. They sat stone-faced while the building burned. I waited for you on the running boards near the cypress tree while the springtime turned slowly into autumn. Idiot wind blowing like a circle around my skull, from the Grand Coulee Dam to the Capitol. Idiot wind blowing every time you move your teeth. You're an idiot, babe. That's a wonder that you still know how to breathe. I can't feel you anymore. I can't even touch the books you've read. Every time I crawl past your door, I've been wishing I've been somebody else instead. Down the highway, down the tracks, down the road to ecstasy, I followed you beneath the stars, hounded by your memory and all your raging glory. I've been double-crossed now for the very last time, and now I'm finally free. I kissed goodbye the howling beast on the borderline that separated you from me. You'll never know the hurt I suffer, nor the pain I rise above. And I'll never know the same about you, your holiness or your kind of love. And it makes me feel so sorry. Idiot wind blowing through the buttons of our coat, blowing through the letters that we wrote. Idiot wind blowing through the dust upon our shelves. We are idiots, babe. It's a wonder we can even feed ourselves. Okay. This next song is the last song on side one if you bought the record. I bought the record. It's called You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go. I seen love go by my door, it's never been this close before. Never been so easy or so slow. I've been shooting in the dark too long. If something's not right, it's wrong. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Dragging clouds so high above, I've only known careless love. It always has hit me from below. But this time round it's more correct, right on target, so direct. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Purple clover, Queen Anne lace, crimson hair across your face. You can make me cry if you don't know. Can't remember what I was thinking of. You might be spoiling me too much love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Flowers on the hillside blooming crazy. Crickets talking back and forth in rhyme. Blue river running slow and lazy. I could stay with you forever and never realize the time. Situations have ended sad, relationships have all been bad. Might have been like Verlaine's and Rimbaud, but there's no way I can compare all them scenes to this affair. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm doing, staying far behind without you. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm saying. You're gonna make me give myself a good talking to. I look for you in old Honolulu, San Francisco, and Ashtabula. You're gonna have to leave me now, I know, but I'll see you in the sky above, in the tall grass and in the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Well, that being the last song on side one, it would only make sense that this next song would be the first song on side two. On the record, it features Buddy Cage in sort of an interesting electric fuzz pedal steel. This one's called Meet Me in the Morning. Meet me in the morning, 56 and Wabash. Meet me in the morning, 56 and Wabash. Well, honey, we could be in Kansas by the time the snow begins to thaw. They say the darkest hour is right before the dawn. They say the darkest hour is right before the dawn. Well, honey, you wouldn't know it by me. Every day's been darkness since you've been gone. Little rooster crowing, must be something on his mind. Little rooster crowing, must be something on his mind. You know, I feel just like that rooster. Honey, you treat me so unkind. You know, I struggled through barbed wire, felt the hail fall from above. You know, I struggled through barbed wire, felt the hail fall from above. You know, I even outrun the hound dogs. Honey, I've earned your love. Look at that sun, it's sinking like a ship. Look at that sun, it's sinking like a ship. Well, ain't that just like my heart, babe, when you kiss my lips? Well, we've come to the marathon portion of the program. This next song, I think, is kind of written like a screenplay, and I think some people have tried to do just that over the years, but I don't think anything ever actually materialized. Try to stick with me for all 15 verses, and I'll try to do the same. This is called Lily, Rosemary, and the Jack of Hearts. The festival was over and the boys were all planning for a fall. The cabaret was quiet except for the drilling in the wall. The curfew had been lifted and the gambling wheel shut down. Anyone with any sense had already left town. He was standing in the doorway looking like the Jack of Hearts. He moved across the mirrored room, set it up for everyone, he said. Then everyone commenced to doing before he turned their head. And he walked up to a stranger and he asked him with a grin, "Could you kindly tell me, friend, what time the show begins?" Then he moved into the corner, face down like the Jack of Hearts. Backstage, the girls were playing 5-card stud by the stairs. Lily had 2 queens, she was hoping for a third to match her pair. Outside, the streets were filling up, the window was open wide. A gentle breeze was blowing, you could feel it from inside. Lily called another bet and drew up the Jack of Hearts. Big Jim was no one's fool. He owned the town's only diamond mine. He made his usual entrance, looking so dandy and so fine, with his bodyguards and silver cane and every hair in place. He took whatever he wanted to and he laid it all to waste. But his bodyguards and silver cane were no match for the Jack of Hearts. Rosemary combed her hair and took a carriage into town. She slipped into the side door, looking like a queen without a crown. She fluttered her false eyelashes and whispered in his ear, "Sorry, darling, that I'm late," but he didn't seem to hear. He was staring into space over at the Jack of Hearts. I know I seen that face somewhere, Big Jim was thinking to himself. Maybe down in Mexico, or a picture upon somebody's shelf. But then the crowd began to stamp their feet and the house lights did dim. And in the darkness of the room there was only Jim and him, staring at the butterfly who just drew the Jack of Hearts. Lily was a princess, she was fair-skinned and precious as a child. She did whatever she had to do, she had that certain flash every time she smiled. She had come away from a broken home and lots of change affairs, with men in every walk of life which took her everywhere. But she never met anyone quite like the Jack of Hearts. The hanging judge came in unnoticed and was being wined and dined. The drilling in the wall kept up, but no one seemed to pay it any mind. It was known all around that Lily had Jim's ring, and nothing would ever come between Lily and the king. Oh no, nothing ever would, except maybe the Jack of Hearts. Rosemary started drinking hard and seeing her reflection in the night. She was tired of the attention, tired of playing the role of Big Jim's wife. She had done a lot of bad things, even once tried suicide. She was looking to do just one good deed before she died. She was gazing to the future, riding on the Jack of Hearts. Lily took her dress off, buried it away. Has your luck run out? She laughed at him. Well, I guess you must have known it would someday. Be careful not to touch the wall, there's a brand new coat of paint. I'm glad to see you're still alive, you're looking like the saints. Down the hallway footsteps were coming for the Jack of Hearts. The backstage manager pacing all around by his chair. There's something funny going on, he said, I can just feel it in the air. He went to get the hanging judge, but the hanging judge was drunk, and a leading actor hurried by in the costume of a monk. There was no actor anywhere better than the Jack of Hearts. No one knew the circumstance, but they say that it happened pretty quick. The door to the dressing room burst open and a cold revolver clicked. And Big Jim was standing there, you couldn't say surprised. Rosemary right beside him, steady in her eyes. She was with Big Jim, but she was leaning to the Jack of David said they got off with quite a haul. In the darkness by the riverbed, they waited on the ground for one more member who had business back in town. For they couldn't go no further without the Jack of Hearts. The next day was hanging day, the sky was overcast and black. Big Jim lay covered up, killed by a penknife in the back. And Rosemary on the gallows, she didn't even blink. The hanging judge was sober, he hadn't had a drink. And the only person on the scene missing was the Jack of Hearts. The cabaret was empty now, a sign said closed for repair. Lily had already taken all of the dye out of her hair. She was thinking about her father, whom she very rarely saw. She was thinking about Rosemary and thinking about the law. But most of all, she was thinking about the Jack of Hearts. There are some who say that this was a breakup record because it kind of coincided with Bob's rather tumultuous divorce from Sarah, and I think in some of these songs you can hear a bit of that. Bob claims it's not true that he doesn't write autobiographical songs, but then in other interviews he said, "Well, the press, I just figured you lied to them because if you tell them the truth, they'll just print something else anyways." So I guess we'll never know. This one's called If You See Her, Say Hello. If you see her, say hello. She might be in Tangier. She left here last early spring, is living there, I hear. Say for me that I'm alright, though things get kind of slow. She might think that I've forgotten her. Don't tell her it isn't so. We had a falling out, like lovers often will. And to think of how she left that night, it still brings me a chill. Though our separation, it pierced me to the heart. She still lives inside of me. We've never been apart. If you get close to her, kiss her once for me. Always have respected her for doing what she did and getting free. So happy, I won't stand in the way. Though the bitter taste still lingers on from the night I tried to make her stay. I see a lot of people as I make the rounds, and I hear her name here and there as I go from town to town. And I've never gotten used to it, I've just learned to turn it off. Either I'm too sensitive or else I'm getting soft. Sundown, yellow moon, I replay the past. I know every scene by heart, they all went by so fast. If she's passing back this way, I'm not that hard to find. Tell her she can look me up if she's got the time. Well, there's a couple more songs left here. Bob's been known to have biblical references in some of his songs, some kind of upfront and some kind of subtle. I think there's a little bit of that in this song. It's called Shelter from the Storm. 'Twas in another lifetime, full of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of steel like death, with men who are fighting to be warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion and buried in the hail, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail, hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there, with silver bracelets on her wrists and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully, took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Now there's a wall between us, something that's been lost. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. Just to think that it all began on an uneventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Where the deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides him out. But nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. Well, I've heard newborn babies wailing like a moaning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation, she give me a lethal dose. I offered up my innocence and I got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. Now I'm living in a foreign country and I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and hope were born. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. Well, thank you all for listening. We got one more song. I've got one more song. This one's called Buckets of Rain. Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, got all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams in my hand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. I've been weak and hard like an oak. I've seen pretty people disappear like smoke. Friends will arrive, friends will disappear. You want me, honey, baby, I'll be here. I like the smile in your fingertips. I like the way you move your lips. I like the cool way you look at me. Everything about you is bringing me misery. Little red wagon, little red bike. Ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you love me strong and slow. Taking you with me, honey, baby, when I go. Life is sad, life is a bust. All you can do is do what you must. Do what you must do, and you do it well. I do it for you, honey, baby, can't you tell? thanks again, and thanks to Factory Underground Live, and a very happy 80th birthday to Bob Dylan. May God bless him, and may God bless you all.